I've been living in South Delhi for the past 6 years, but this incident happened in September last year when I moved to West Delhi. My roommate and I shifted to West Delhi in July last year. Everything was going well, and we were settling into our new place. However, starting in early September, strange things began happening in the flat. We had already experienced some unusual occurrences before, like objects fixing themselves without explanation or things suddenly disappearing, but we brushed them off as coincidences and ignored them. Then, at the end of September, just a day after my roommate's birthday, something truly unsettling happened. That day, I was alone in the flat while my roommate was at work. There was a power cut since morning, so the entire flat was in darkness. It was also the rainy season, so there wasn't enough natural sunlight coming in. Around 3 p.m., the power was restored. I was in my room at that time, and as soon as I stepped out, I noticed something on the wall attached to my room. It wasn't clearly visible at first, so I switched on the hall lights. That's when I saw them, handprints. There were 4 of them, and I was sure they hadn't been there the day before. I remembered that clearly. At first, I thought they might have been mine or my roommate's, but they looked distinct. I took a picture and sent it to my roommate. Throughout the evening, I kept convincing myself that it was nothing serious. I even shared the picture with a few friends, but they found the prints disturbing and advised me to leave the flat immediately. Still, I didn't pay much attention to their warnings. When my roommate returned from work around 6 p.m., I asked her to check the marks on the wall, but when she went to look, they were gone. She called me over, and when I checked, the handprints had completely disappeared. At that moment, I felt a chill run down my spine. It was an eerie, unsettling feeling. That night, we decided to leave the flat and move to a friend's place. Even then, I found it hard to believe in anything paranormal. So the next day, some of my roommate's friends went to our flat after work. They spent some time there and dismissed the whole incident as just our imagination. However, as they were about to leave, they noticed something on the back of the front door. When they looked closely, they saw the same handprints that had appeared on the wall earlier. Terrified, they ran out of the flat immediately and advised us to vacate the place as soon as possible. The very next day, we moved out. But even after leaving, both my roommate and I went through a series of misfortunes over the next month. It felt like a traumatic experience, something we might never be able to forget. Maybe this wasn't just an incident. Maybe it had some kind of connection. Told this tale to me, and how it all started. A man was shot dead at a tea stall nearby. After investigations, the police found out that the murderer was from our apartments. They raided his house but could not find him. Everyone assumed he was killed by the spirit of the man he had murdered. My grandfather told me how people became superstitious at that time. But to be honest, one thing that freaked me about this incident is that the body of the murderer was never found. These days, nobody believes in ghosts. Everyone thinks it is a lie from the past. It is something that is cooked up from movies. But the look on Grandpa's face even today seems real. He says the problem with modern people is that they don't believe in anything other than logic. At present, I have 3 good friends in those apartments, Arav, Shubi, and Samir. All 3 of them love horror movies, and that's why we came up with a game, Zombie Survival. In the game, we all team up and imagine that we are in a forest. We hunt for supplies, and in doing so, we find the hiding place of zombies. The place which we used as the hiding place up until now was under construction these days. But Arav insisted that we go on playing the game. And so Samir found a place which was the same as that in Grandpa's story. Shubi and Arav seemed happy and said we should call it the new hiding place. I too had no problem with it, and so we decided to play there from the next day. We went straight to the new hiding place, but the look of that block made our bravery drain out. The whole block was neglected for a long time. As we were exploring the place, a door somewhere closed with a loud bang. We all screamed. We took flight and ran upstairs in that block and entered a house. Feeling safe, we turned back. Behind us was a man. his eyes white-colored, his feet pointed backwards. He was blind. I saw a hole in his forehead, and it occurred to me, was this the man who was killed in the tea stall? Well, I never believed in it until now, but when I saw it right in front of my eyes, I could not deny it. We ran downstairs, out of the block screaming and panting. We somehow escaped it. As we regained our breath, we decided never to enter that block. That incident still haunts me. I moved into an apartment recently, and there is some strange stuff happening here. Small, but it does happen. A few instances that were the most creepy. I was sitting downstairs with my dog when it sounded like someone was coming downstairs. We have tiles, so I hear footsteps. It sounded so real that my dog even went to the bottom of the stairs, but no one was there. Another time, I was making a midnight snack, and it sounded like a metal item had fallen. There was a knife on the table that I used prior. I picked it up and dropped it, and it was the same noise, but the knife was on the table where I left it. The other day, at around 12 a.m., I heard my dog's squeaky toy being played continuously for a good minute. They were both in the room with me. So much more has happened, but it all happens at night. I don't go in the kitchen at night really anymore. Another interesting thing, last summer for I'd say maybe 4 days straight, I had horrific nightmares of just people being tortured, myself and family dying. I never had that happen.